is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
Today, we are discussing Hats Off to Love, which originally premiered on the Hallmark Channel on Saturday, May 3rd, and is currently available to stream on the Hallmark Plus streaming platform. And when you're done listening, or right now as you're listening, please click over to the Instagram app and follow us, your Hallmark besties. We are Girls Gone Hallmark.
Hey, if you are looking for a Facebook group and you want to talk about Hallmark movies or Hallmark news or whatever Hallmark related, give our Facebook group a join. We are Girls Gone Hallmark and Facebook groups.
We do have a brand new mailbag episode coming to you this week. And if you'd like to participate in future listener mailbag episodes where we share your thoughts and opinions on all things Hallmark and Girls Gone Hallmark related, there are two ways in which you can do that. You can email us, girlsgonehallmark@gmail.com. Or if you're feeling extra brave, you can pick up the phone and leave us a voicemail. You're going to hear a few of those on tomorrow's episode. Our number is 949-329-8090. And let's start by hearing a synopsis for Hats Off to Love.
Stella designs hats and fascinators for socialite Rosalind and meets her son Christian, who's training a horse to compete in the Louisville Derby.
Hats Off to Love was directed by Amy Barrett, marking her first project for Hallmark Channel. While this is her 17th directorial credit, Amy is better known for her works on grittier titles like Couples Retreat Murder, A Model Murder, and Home Not Alone.
That's a great title.
It is.
The writers of this script are lengthy, guys. Bruce D. Johnson, Uma Incroci, Austin Highsmith, and director Amy Barrett.
Jenna Claire Mason stars as Stella in Hats Off to Love. She first made her Hallmark debut in 2022's A Holiday Spectacular and has quickly become a familiar face with starring roles in A Heidelberg Holiday and A Carol for Two. Up next, she'll lead the highly anticipated 2025 holiday movie A Newport Christmas.
Holly Robinson Pete stars as Rosalind. Rosalind? Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you are.
It's right? Hallmark fans will recognize her from 2022's Holiday Heritage, her last appearance on the network until this movie, with 55 acting credits to her name. We're thrilled to see her back on Hallmark.
John Clarence Stewart co-stars as Christian. You might recognize John Clarence as Simon from his 25 episodes of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, as well as a half dozen episodes of P-Valley. This is his first appearance on Hallmark. Thank you for reminding me that he is Simon from a show that I just loved.
From Zoe's, right? Because not P-Valley. P-Valley is.
Zoe's is a show I very much adored.
And P-Valley is pretty gritty, if I recall. Rena Strober plays Hannah. She has 57 acting credits and a resume filled with voice work and appearances on shows like Veep, Hacks, Nicky, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn. Do you remember that show from Nickelodeon?
I don't.
That was one of my daughter's favorites. And when I was writing these notes, I was like, hey, do you remember Nicky, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn? She's like, yes, why are you talking about it?
Darla Delgado plays Odette. Darla has 51 acting credits with recent roles in Cobra Kai, Sweet Magnolias, and The Resident. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come right back with first impressions. Hey, Wendy, what was your first impression of Hats Off to Love?
Some of Stella's hats look like a very particular pine cone feather turkey my daughter made in first grade. Do you know the project I'm talking about?
Of course. My first impression is, what does it say about me that the actual horse racing scene was the emotional pinnacle of this movie? And I hate horse racing.
Megan! I cried when the horse won. Yes, I have very complicated feelings. Did you just turn me down because
I turned us both down. Turned us both down.
I have very complicated feelings about horse racing. I know it's like a thing. I just feel weird about it, but there is something about like rooting for your horse and it wins. It's
Go Willa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about what we liked about Hats Off to Love.
Okay. Can I start?
Yeah.
When this movie first started, I was like, sweet, it's going to be a movie built around this storyline of like this hat competition.
Yeah.
Even the title says it. I mean, and the hat is the through line of this movie.
Sure.
But I thought it was going to be like, we were going to get sort of like that party planning type movie where we get to see a lot of it happening. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Like a montage type sort of thing, task driven energy that I like in movies.
You do know that this is the likes section of the movie, of the podcast.
Well, then I liked that we had, well, you're right. Okay. I liked that we did have a storyline that was kind of built around it, but it was too light for me.
Yeah.
But I thought I liked where it was going.
Okay, well, in a similar vein, I did like the setting of the fake Kentucky Derby, the Lexington Derby, and I think the timing of the movie airing on the actual weekend of the Derby was well planned. However, hold on for some notes about the Derby itself.
Well, I would like to, this is kind of a lower like for mine, but aesthetically, I thought the sets and most of the locations were super beautiful.
Yeah.
Visually, I thought it delivered that way. I will be talking about the costumes in the wishes.
Well, one through line of this movie is Stella as a fish out of water, doesn't really understand Kentucky high society. And right at the moment where I was starting to feel very frustrated with this, like, okay, we get it. Stella's a bumpkin from Florida.
Tampa. Did you see her shirt that said Tampa?
I didn't.
Oh my gosh. And the way that I'm doing this right now is because I know you've seen those TikTok videos where the kids tell where they're going to go to school.
Their college decisions. It makes me so uncomfortable the way they do it. And some of the girls are so boob forward when they do it. They're like, it's a very caressing motion. And if you don't know what we're talking about. And a lot of them are accompanied by like someone being like, University of Southern California. Have you seen those?
No.
Like, they'll have like a guy like announcing their college.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that. But yes, go ahead. Stella from Tampa.
So right when I was starting to feel very frustrated by this, we have our sweet little old ladies who are like, I haven't had a rib in years. And then they have their ribs. And I thought, look, Stella has moved on from an outsider and now she's an influencer.
Oh, influencer.
Like she's, they're starting to realize like, there's more than one right way to do things.
Now,
live a little.
Was that scene like, were those ladies like, we're too prim and proper, we don't eat food with our hands?
Well, I think the feeling was like they had been taught like, well, we can't eat ribs because they're messy. So they hadn't eaten ribs because it wouldn't be a good look. And then they realized like all the fun they had been missing out on in their lives.
I did like that scene, but I did think it was weird. But okay. Speaking of Stella, she had this quirky likability.
Yeah.
That I enjoyed about her. I enjoyed her performances. I really loved when she sang.
Yeah, love any excuse for Gina Claire Mason to sing.
Totally. I do think, hot take coming in, the script and the story is at the bottom of her other Hallmark projects.
Sure. Like, you're never going to make me hate Gina Claire Mason, but yeah, this wasn't my favorite project of hers.
Kind of curious why she selected it. Considering some of her other projects are, did I say products? Considering her other projects are higher level quality. That's my thought.
Everybody's got to make a buck.
I guess. And this year is pretty light for Hallmark. So I guess if something comes your way, you may take it.
Yeah, in a season where we're just seeing so many Hallmark Plus re-airs. Look, we do see some character growth in some of our female characters. Odette grows to appreciate Stella. She grows to almost mentor her in a way. Stella does learn the ways of Lexington High Society. Hannah takes entirely too long to get there, but in the 11th hour, she does finally realize the error of her ways. I appreciate some character growth.
I agree. I have thoughts on Hannah and my wishes. Mm-hmm. Let's talk Holly Robinson Pete for a minute. She is quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
This was a great role for her, I thought. I thought like that Southern charm, her warm presence. You know, she was hard as a boss, I guess, or a client. But in the end, I thought she was lovely. And I have some more thoughts about her in my wishes as well, her character.
Okie dokie. My final like is I love a Southern FU in the form of a bless your heart.
Yes, I do too. I laughed at all of that in the beginning. It started to like run a little too long for me, but
yeah, because it's not new to us.
Is it new to Stella? We don't live in the South.
Yeah, this is a good point.
We're on the opposite end of where Stella is. So
is she just so pure that she just assumes the best in people? Is that what we're supposed to believe about her?
Maybe. I'll tell you, I went to Tennessee. Is that considered the South?
I don't know.
Okay. We went to Tennessee because my sister graduated from high school. And we had my stepmom's mom there, who is an older woman. And she says stuff like, bless your heart, but genuinely, like, she doesn't know what it means. And when we were in the South, she said it. And this girl, we were in a restaurant and the girl was like, let me stop you. She's like, I don't think you know what that means here. So she's
That's
like,
funny.
It's a super insult. Don't say it. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk wishes.
All right. First of all, there is absolutely no chemistry between Stella and Christian. Zero.
Okay.
I liked Christian. I like the actor that plays Christian. I was very happy that like we got kind of a new actor on our screens, but I was not feeling it between these two.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Yeah, you know why I didn't bump on that? Because there's 7,000 other things happening in this movie.
Okay.
It's too much. By my count, we have Stella's fish out of water experience. We have her trying to make it as like a high fashion milliner. Then we have the hat competition. We have the issue with the horses. We have the Stella and Christian romance. We have Christian's struggles as a horse trainer. We have Hannah feeling overshadowed by Stella. Hannah struggling to have her baking business acknowledged. Rosalind starting to feel like maybe a little bit obsolete. My brain did not know what to care about.
Well, remember when I went through the news and notes, you think maybe having 4 writers on a script is too many?
Maybe.
Too many storylines?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Hannah?
Yeah, let's talk about Hannah.
Hannah, my girl. You're the villain.
100%.
Stella was lovely to you. She offered supportive advice. And it's not until she does the absolute least and buys you bakery boxes that you realize that, no, you're the actual worst. Look, first of all, when Rosalind sees the bakery boxes and she's like, this is ingenious, I went, are you effing kidding me right now? She goes, it's a way to catch the crumbs. And I was like looking around my house, like, what is happening here?
I don't know. I didn't get it.
A plate is also a way to catch the crumbs. This focus on no crumbs?
A napkin?
Come on. They weren't even branded. It was like, you can go to the Michael's and get those bakery boxes.
Store. Yep.
Yes. So you're an assistant who felt a little bit taken advantage of. So you were jealous of the attention the new girl was getting. It didn't really warrant like the Scooby-Doo level of sabotage that you were bringing to the table.
That's funny. Yes, that was my biggest problem. I was like, what is Hannah's beef with Stella? Like, it was never established other than she was like the new girl, but they weren't even like competing for the same job. So it wasn't like.
But she was getting all the attention from Odette and Rosalind.
A break. So dumb. So dumb. I hate when we have like a conniving female character who's always trying to sabotage like the nice, sweet girl. I'm so tired of this narrative that women hate each other and we're going to do bad things to each other. especially at the end when, yes, Rosalind was so overcome with these bakery boxes that she's like, you need to you need to open your own bakery and I'm going to fund it. I was like, Rosalind is a saint here. Like, she's such a wonderful woman helping another woman up. Hannah should have felt like a big jackass.
I know, but yes, that is a lovely thing for Rosalind to be like, I'm going to identify the talent in you and I'm going to support that talent. And I want the people who work with me to be successful too. But also, what the hell? Because Hannah has been bringing baked goods to the shop all along. And even Christian's like, one thing you should know about my mom, don't eat the scones. Because she's so afraid of a freaking crumb.
Yeah, it's dumb.
So like, at what point was she so afraid of the crumbs that she never tasted Hannah's baking and therefore wasn't aware of her talent? And now all of a sudden we have this ingenious crumb catching bakery box. And so she's able to like, it didn't work for me.
It didn't work for me either. You're not wrong.
She's like Monica Geller and her crummies.
You are not wrong. I have a question. Does Christian even know anything about horses?
Oh, poor Christian.
Look, this is a man who's grown up in a family of horses, right? Yes. His entire life.
Yeah, he's horse people.
They're horse people. Then you have Stella from Tampa, who grew up on a farm, apparently, which... Are there farms in Tampa? No, she was from
St. Pete.
Yeah. Is that a real place in Florida?
Yeah, St. Petersburg.
Okay, I don't know. Guys, it's on the other side of the world for me, it feels like. Would there be a farm there? Anyway, here comes Stella. And she's got all the like inside baseball on how to like train a horse and what a horse needs. And Christian's is like, oh, this is all new news to me.
Yeah, it seemed like Christian was more like the business guy who had fallen into the training role because that other dude had left.
Who was a nice guy too.
Yeah, but who Christian made out to be like
a villain.
Yeah, when he shows up and he was like, oh, keep your horse away from mine or whatever. I expected more from that storyline other than Christian was just feeling inferior.
Sure.
There's a lot of people who could use some therapy in this movie, who could use just like a quick, like, this person is not a threat to you.
Right.
Yeah.
I have one more wish. I'm going to circle back to Holly Robinson Pete's character of Rosalind. I liked that she has this like realization that she really loved being like riding horses. And then, you know, she kind of like steps out of her comfort zone here at the end. I think I would have enjoyed more of that story. I think it would have appealed more to a larger Hallmark audience than this like hat competition love story with Christian. Like, don't you want to see like a woman of a certain age kind of have like this rebirth?
Yeah, find herself
in that midlife. Yeah, and be like, you know what? I used to really like that. I'm going to lean into that instead of being this like high society lady that I am now. Anyway, I would have liked to see that movie.
Yeah. My final wish is a big one.
What?
While I appreciate the coordinated timing of the movie release on Derby weekend, I'm begging you, movie makers of the world, do not try and make a high fashion movie on a no fashion budget.
It's in my did you see that's, but we can talk about it now.
Okay.
The wardrobe, it was whack in this movie. It was whack.
It wasn't giving aspirational. And part of the problem is with having it on Derby weekend is that if you have access to social media, all I was seeing were like red carpets and influencer events and all these things where people were showing up and bringing their best and doing a better job.
Yeah. So I thought the end, like at the race.
Yes, that was nice. I really liked the men's outfits at the race. I thought the men looked great.
Men looked good. I think maybe it was harder to get all these kind of like elevated dresses for a number of women that they needed. It just looked like cheap fashion, like fast fashion to me. It did not look high society.
The hat competition?
I can't. I just thought it was dumb.
It hurt my feelings.
All those like feathers and stuff.
We're to believe that this is like the biggest event of the summer and there's 15 people in folding chairs watching it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. when they're all standing up there in line, like they're being judged. Yeah.
On their prize chickens.
Yeah. I didn't like any of that. The costuming for Stella, I thought was so terrible, with the exception when she was very casual. At the very top of the movie, she's in a sweatshirt, and Levi's super cute. A sweatshirt. It's like a light blue. It has little embroidered flowers. Really enjoyed that. And then later in the movie, she's in like a button down.
Striped.
Yes.
Wide
with
leg jeans.
Super cute. Anytime she was dressed up, it was horrible. At one point, she was in this huge like Peter Pan collar shirt that had like a dress over it. It was so bad and was too short for her. Felt too like youthful.
I did not love. I agree with you. Her casual jeans outfits were great. Most of her dresses were not. And I think they were leaning too hard into her as this like country bumpkin, but then she's got this like purple velvet dress just in her closet ready to go. I mean, I know it was the wrong look, but I don't know. The fashion was a miss for me.
It was a super miss. I think especially like you said, if you're trying to pull off what looks like a real life event that is happening on the same weekend,
and where the fashion is a key component of the event itself.
Well, yeah, and especially the hat game, right?
Hats are very, very expensive.
Whatever was happening, Michael's, can you imagine, like, I don't mean to dog so hard, but I can just see like production team is like hot gluing feathers to hats, like with no rhyme and reason. And like, we're calling it couture. It just is woof. Woof.
Well, we already did at least one of your Did You See That? Do you have anything more for Did You See That?
I sure do.
Okay.
There is one scene where they're walking and talking, Stella and Christian. He's talking about like imposter syndrome or whatever. He's venting to her about like not feeling like he's a true horse trainer. And the weather is like one scene cloudy and damp, the next scene bright sunny. Like it was just, and I know like you can't control the weather, but it just was like one of those things. I was like, oh, now it's sunny. Now her hair looks damp. Now it's sunny. Now, anyway. The other one I have, let's talk about that amusement park that they went to. One, why is it empty?
Because he rented it out. He said,
oh, okay. My bad. I did miss that. Was this supposed to be an amusement park or was it a county fair? Because that was clearly.
It was unclear to me, but it looked more like a fair to me.
100%. Like the one that comes here every summer, right?
Yeah, it looked, because it was like dirt roads and stuff. It looked like a fair.
Okay. I didn't know. I missed the detail that he rented it out. Why did he rent it out?
For their date.
That's dumb.
You heard it here first.
You know why that's dumb? What did I just see? Oh, it's a Gilmore Girls episode where Jason takes her to dinner and it's like this hot
in that
place.
Private room.
Yeah, and they're in the private room and it's not fun.
I'm missing all the fun stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the fun part about going to like the county fair or an amusement park is like the people watching, the energy of everything else. Like,
I know. I would be so embarrassed to be the one person in this park. I'm like, can we go play a game? Against nobody?
Don't do that. So dumb. So dumb. I have two more. Did you see that? Can I just keep going?
Yeah.
It was a really cute scene. It was Christian and Stella, and there was a horse, and he kisses the horse on the snout. And I was wondering, like, I wonder what this guy's experience is with these big, large animals. I'm scared of horses.
Are you?
Terrified.
Oh.
Terrified. I would never, like, kiss a horse on its snout because it was... No, scary. It was a very cute moment. And then right after that, the horse neighed in his face and like they just went with it. Like they didn't even break character at all. You can kind of see like Stella, like Gina Claire, you can kind of see her like hesitate a little bit with the line. But other than that, I was like, look at them just go right for it.
Their teeth are flat.
It was right in his face. I would have ran away.
I like horses. I used to go to horseback riding camp in the summer.
Well, that leads into my next thing. A jodhpur? The name for those riding pants? I've always called them riding pants.
Okay.
Have you ever heard that name before?
I've heard the name. I would never use it.
Rosalind referred to her pants that. She's like, for a whole summer I wore jodhpurs. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. And I was like, what the hell is that? I had to look it up. And then I was like, oh, those are riding pants.
Yeah, but Rosalind is a very specific.
I know. It just was interesting.
Oh.
I heard a new word. I didn't know what it was. Maybe not everybody else knows what it was either. Megan's looking at me like, you're a dummy, read a book.
I'm not. I'm surprised that it was remarkable that
I didn't know what it was.
I'm not saying that you should know what it was. There's a lot of words that we're going to, we don't know writing. So there's a lot of words that we're going to hear that.
All right. Do you have any other, did you see that?
Yes.
Oh, okay, go. I thought you only had one. I don't know. Sorry.
I haven't even given one.
Go on.
Mike, did you see that? They spill coffee on that hat and they give up so fast. I'm like, guess it's ruined. Better use the other one.
It was ruined though. It was a white hat. What are you going to do?
They didn't even try and Tide Pen it. Nothing. It's nothing.
Brought to you by Tide Pen. Yeah. Missed branding opportunity there, right? Sponsorship opportunity. Gone.
All right. What did you rate this?
That's it.
Jesus Christ.
That's it. I thought you had a whole list.
No.
What did I rate this movie? 2.5 stars.
Exactly the same.
Get out. I feel bad sometimes. In the 2 range, I feel a little bad.
This was a low point of this week's reviews for me.
Oh, for sure.
Heads up, coming in hot, more reviews from Girls Gone Hallmark. Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. If you love this podcast, we love your 5-star ratings and reviews. You should know that at the beginning of the year, I set a goal in my head for the number of ratings that I wanted to get to by the end of the year. And we are on target for that number, if you average it out monthly. But, we could use a little boost.
Well, the goal is in your head. Tell the people we need 5 new reviews this week. Please.
I would like 5 new reviews this week.
Give us 5 new reviews this week.
Yeah.
Let's just put it out there. Manifest it.
That's right. Wendy's a better business person than I am. The best place to do that is in the Apple Podcast. That's where I'm counting their reviews. Apple Podcast, y'all. If you have an iPhone, leave a rating and a review there. And we'll be back this week with so many more Hallmark reviews. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.